Whether you are on an adventure or at the downtown cafe, your answers are no more than a sniff away. Dog Training 360's purpose is simple: to teach you why dogs do what they do, as well as the action steps you need to take to have better communication, connection, consistency, and conceivability with your dog. We've just come off of a really fun, just talking about adventures and really what training is as it relates to owning dogs, and it's not just this structured sit down, stay, come and heel. And the other, as we got into this adventure stuff and prepping for an adventure, knowing where the vets are and all of that, we've really been talking a lot about the being empowered at the vet clinic, and we've had some clients that's had some really crazy chain of events, if you will, with their dogs and vets. And then also there was something on the news last night that caught my attention. So we're going to really talk about the, through this series of how to find the right vet for you. You don't have to stick with the same vet. And also just being empowered enough to know that you are in charge of the care of your dog, not always trusting the veterinarian in a way that just doesn't make sense or doesn't seem right. And we trust so much because they're the experts and they've been to school for it. And absolutely, there is absolutely a time and a place for veterinarians. But, Shannon, from your standpoint, coming out of the vet world, you were in it for quite a while, and let's talk a little bit about that and kind of the way you've seen the whole veterinary industry change.
Sure. So the practice that I worked at, when I started working there, it had 3 doctors, mm-hmm. and then over time they've added more, and mm-hmm. some have gone away. So I think the maximum amount of doctors at one time was 6. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure how many they have now. And the reason why that's a good thing, your practice to have multiple doctors, is mm-hmm. you might not like a particular doctor there.
Sure. Yeah.
There's all different kinds of personalities of people. Mm-hmm. Medicine is something that people have kind of a style in. You learn all these rules about it. What's the right medicine for this? What do these symptoms probably mean is going on?
Right.
But as a person, you develop your own style. What drugs you experience work the best.
Yeah.
What kind of products you like. What kind, in your experience and your learning, you come up with the things that you find work the best. Mm-hmm. And what you find works the best might not be the same as what the other doctor finds works the best, right?
Yeah.
You might have experience working with different animals, and different animals kind of have different philosophies that go with them.
Right.
Pets in our house have a different emotional attachment than animals that live on a farm that maybe are going to become food for us, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And
exactly.
doctors that study in maybe work in an area where the animals they are keeping healthy are for food, mm-hmm. might not have the same bedside manner as a doctor that only sees cats or something. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
And these philosophies come with their experiences over their education, places they've worked, other doctors that mentor them, the college they go to, and all of these come into what makes up the doctor, right?
Yeah.
So when you go looking for the doctor, you have to know what your philosophy about your pet is, mm-hmm. and find a doctor that matches that.
Yeah.
So what do we mean when we say that? Some people believe their dogs should only live outside.
Yeah.
Some people believe their dog should sleep in your bed.
Right.
Both views are totally fine, but you want to have a veterinarian that agrees with you. Either your dog should only live outside or they should only live inside, because their recommendations for the health of the dog are going to be based on what they believe.
Right.
And if you believe 2 different things, you are not going to be able to come to an agreement on what's the best way to treat your dog.
Yeah. Yep.
And the veterinarian's job is to provide you options mm-hmm. that are available of what's the best way to treat your dog.
Right.
And then you decide from those options what's best for you. So if your doctor's not giving you options, and if you ask them a question and they make you feel like, well, you shouldn't be asking me because I'm just telling you, that is not a good veterinarian.
Right.
Because their job is to answer your questions so that you can make an educated decision about what the best thing
treatment
for you and your dog is.
Yeah.
And I think that's the main thing people don't understand. Like, they think they go and the doctor tells them what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
The doctor's supposed to give you options of what's available, so you can make an educated decision about what to do.
Yeah.
They don't tell you what to do.
Right. Well, and just over the time, where we're sitting right now, there's very few independent vet clinics at this point in time. Most of them are owned by big corporations now.
That's right. When I started working in veterinary medicine, almost all, I would say 90% of the hospitals were private-owned small businesses. And they were owned by a veterinarian. And Utah, as some other states, had laws in place that said only the veterinarian could own the business. Right. It couldn't be owned by a business person.
Yeah.
Those laws are changing, and we have now a corporatization of veterinary medicine.
Yeah, they've made a workaround.
90% of the veterinarians are now corporately owned, not private small businesses anymore.
Right. And I feel like I have felt a drastic change in the overall care. It's about the bottom line and the number versus the care and then the number. And I completely understand that they have a business to run and they've got to make money. I mean, it's not any different than anybody else. But when you're dealing with health and you're dealing with emotion, I just feel like the overall emotional care of the animal isn't there anymore.
I think it's a fundamental part of the business structure.
Yeah.
When you're the owner of a business, whatever business that is, you're emotionally invested.
Yeah.
You care about it with your whole soul.
Yep.
Because it's your business.
Yeah.
You want your clients to feel happy, and you want your business to provide the service for them. You want a good reputation. You want them to know that you're invested, and you want clients to come to you for that service because you want to help them, right? Well, when you're an employee of a business, sometimes you're like, I love my job and I go there and it's a fulfilling experience and I make money. But at the end of the day, I just go home from work and I don't think about it anymore. I just clock in, clock out every day. And I think that comes through in the medicine also. Yeah. Because that's what the change is. Yeah. People that used to own the business and be emotionally invested in wanting to their service to be to keep your animal healthy or provide health services for you. Yeah. Now they're just employees of a big
and they make you feel guilty.
They do. If you don't agree, so they'll have a philosophy that they want to promote, right? And it might be a personal or it might be a corporate philosophy. Yeah. We're not going to make a judgment on that. Right. But they're going to have something that they want to promote. Yes. And if you don't agree with what they want to promote, they do make you feel like don't you love your dog? Yeah. Why wouldn't you do what we say?
Right. Yeah. And it's really it's been difficult as a trainer going into homes and feeling these people feel so stuck and feel so disempowered on the decisions that they should make on how, but also vets not even addressing or even answering questions that they have because they don't want to dig in a little bit deeper. They don't want to find something else out or, what's going to work.
They make you feel like, well, why would you question me?
Right. Yeah.
That's my job as the pet owner. Yeah. To question you, to get information about what's going on with these proposals, with the health, with the side effects, with the outcomes. Right. We don't know the answer. That's why we go there. Yeah. Because they're the expert. They know the answer. Right. And they should provide it to you.
Options.
But they make you feel like you should, well, I just told you what to do. And if you don't want to, I guess that's your choice. You can go.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And then the other, the other side to it is being an advocate for your dog. And we'll wrap up with this story. Here's the news story, and it was really disturbing to me, and it was a little frustrating because we'll get into. Here's the story. Picking up the dog from the vet hospital who just got spayed, and I took the dog home, and 3 days later, I realized that my dog still had the IV in its leg, and it had razor burn from being shaved from the spay. So then they go back, these dog owners call the news and make it a big deal. Shame on this vet for not taking the IV out and cutting up my dog's belly that's so raw, and putting this all over the news when there is yes, the IV should have come out.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody made a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
If your clippers are dull, you should probably, even tell the owner and say,
Mm-hmm.
hey, we didn't realize this is a little, but here's some ointment,
Mm-hmm.
and, everything
Mm-hmm.
will be fine. But it's also a responsibility of us as owners to go in, ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
If they're bringing your dog out from a spay,
Mm-hmm.
you should take a moment and go, tell me how it was.
Mm-hmm.
What do I need to watch out for?
Mm-hmm.
What needs to happen? And take a moment and guess what? Touch your dog.
Mm-hmm. Look at it.
Right. Can you show me the incision?
Yeah.
If that would have happened, they probably would have felt the IV
Mm-hmm.
at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not saying that it's on the owner's responsibility to make sure the vet's doing their job, but it's our responsibility as an owner to be
Well, you're in charge of your dog's health.
yeah.
Because you own the dog.
Right.
And so being in charge of the dog's health, you request help of services from other people that can accentuate
Right.
the care of your dog,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
So we call the dog trainer, the groomer,
Yeah.
the veterinarian, the dog food store owner,
Right.
the dog toy maker.
Yeah.
Like there's all these
Yeah.
people that help us
Yes.
to care for our dog.
Yeah.
But ultimately, you're the boss
Yeah.
of what's happening.
Yes. Yeah. And so I felt like, it was really inappropriate for owners to call the news and make this big deal. But but in the same sense, yep, the vet clinic did make some errors.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't just their fault.
Mm-hmm.
And you ultimately are responsible for your dog, and that you should feel empowered to ask questions
Mm-hmm.
to what other options do we have?
Mm-hmm.
Do we have to go this aggressive? And what is the outcome? What does that look like?
Mm-hmm.
And we'll get into more of some of our other client stories, but we just wanted to really kind of open the door to getting you to think about you're in charge, and you're asking for their knowledge and their expertise and the skills that they have developed in vet school that we cannot do,
Mm-hmm.
but also, asking questions, not just going along with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's, from human medicine, the culture has turned into that, and
Mm-hmm.
it's dropping into the animal
Mm-hmm.
industry of what do we truly need, and what do we recommend, and why. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that there's a big difference
Mm-hmm.
of a need
Mm-hmm.
and a suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
And we should be the ones saying, okay, so what is the need?
Mm-hmm.
What is the have to?
Mm-hmm.
And then what's the suggestion, and why on the suggestion?
And I mean, you might have a personality that wants to go for aggressive,
Sure.
right?
Sure.
And so, like, you need a spectrum of most aggressive
Yeah.
and least aggressive options.
Yeah.
Because if you're the least aggressive person,
Yeah.
then you want to go with that. And if you're
Right.
the most aggressive, and either is fine.
Sure.
We're not saying don't be aggressive.
Right.
If
right.
that's what you believe,
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
But you have to go in the vet and say, what are the options?
Yeah.
Which is the most aggressive? Because I feel like
Yeah.
I want to be aggressive on this.
Yeah, let's-
Yeah. or
yeah.
not.
Whatever.
you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, for sure.
So you have to educate yourself a little,
Yes. Yeah.
about your style and what you believe, and
Yeah.
kind of what
Yeah.
you feel like is right.
Yeah. And not be guilted into it.
Mm-mm.
Either.
Because you don't believe in being aggressive, or because you do.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So we're going to go through a series of, the overall care of your of your dog and the responsibility as an owner, and that it is okay to ask questions. And we'll talk about some of these other stories and just kind of our opinion really of what maybe we would do. And giving some of you out there permission to be like, gosh, I can ask a question, or I can do this, and that it's okay. And that it's okay that my dog lives outside, or, whatever that is. It's just, our series is just going to be about just empowering you as a dog owner, as it relates to our overall health and the choices that you can make, and some of the things that we've tried and done, and knowing, that what we know and what direction that we would go in with some of it. So, stick with us and listen to our, you are empowered to take care of your dog in any way that you feel is correct.